Here you go.
Yes, sir. The boys are back in town.
Rad Sports News, RSN podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Here we go. Another week.
Things getting weird out here, right?
Things are getting silly. But you know, not to start off on a bad note, but not on the, people dying left and right, man. We've been talking about this too much, too long. Last week we talked about it, and it seems like it's continuing.
Right. So we lost P&B Rock this week. He was out in LA. He was hanging out with his baby mother, and they were at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle in South California, I think, or LA, and somebody came in while he was eating, robbed him, shot him, and ran off.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's horrible to see. It's definitely horrible to see. I've seen a lot of comments about it, a lot of people talking about it, and unfortunately, it's like we have these conversations like over and over and over again, way too often, and it's like I get it. People are outraged and this and that, but like we need some action. It's like something got to happen. We got to move better. We got to make better decisions where we go, who we with, different things like that. And sometimes some things are just like unavoidable. But we definitely want to respect and the family and everybody, and say special rest in peace, and hope everybody over time heals and grieves appropriately.
Right. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of comments online, too. Some people were talking about his baby mother, about posting while they were there. Some people blame her for it happening. Some people say it's not her fault. Me personally, I don't think that it's her fault that it happened, but I think it was irresponsible to tag while they were still there.
Yeah, I think, the first thing when I heard about it, the first thing I thought was Pop Smoke. Like, that's the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, it's I don't like tagging anywhere I go. Like these days I should say. And it is I don't want to make her feel worse than she probably already feel, but it is irresponsible in my opinion to when you at a certain status, when you got a certain status and you out and this and that. You can't let everybody know where you are, especially in the state of the country that we're in right now.
Right. California seems to be collapsing on itself. We got more news from there, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in the pod.
Word.
All right, let's move. Joyner Lucas is back. You heard him on Funkplex Freestyle? I
heard him, boy. He did the what is it called, the backwards rap or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he killed that. He put in work. It's rare that I get excited for artists when I watch like freestyle and stuff like that, because sometimes they be overhyped. Sometimes they be like, oh, this person killed it, or this or that, and they really don't. It'd be like something like, it was like, oh, that was alright, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But no, he went in, like, he made me excited. He made me want to rap. He made me want to rap again. So it's like, not saying I stopped, but he made me want to, like, call up Flex and like, yo, I'm coming up there, Flex,
drop a bomb on it, Flex.
Word, for sure.
Yeah. It reminded me, of course, of Nas's Rewind. That's what I was thinking about when he was doing it.
Right. For
sure.
Dope
that he's able to do that. I don't think anybody else has done that since Nas. I don't think. Actually, Papoose did it. Papoose did it, and that's the last time I've ever seen it.
It takes a certain artist to do that. It takes a certain artist to do it and do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Do it and do it right. It's the difference from attempting to do it, and he did that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, Nas Rewind, of course, classic. But then you got Papoose. He can do whatever he wants because his skill set is just that crazy.
Right.
But then Joyner Lucas, you have to put in that category, man. You got to put respect on his name.
Right. So shout out to Joyner Lucas. He's definitely killing it. Another person killing it is Haley Bailey. She's the new Little Mermaid, the chocolate Little Mermaid. And the trailer got 1.5 million dislikes on YouTube.
literally killing it.
But if they ain't hating, you ain't doing it, right?
Yeah. Just all right. It's a win. It's a W, no matter what. Just the fact alone that she's the Little Mermaid is a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a W in itself. So of course you want it to be good. Like, you don't want to get the shot and drop the ball. But at the same time, one, she already won because she got that role that, normally women of color don't get that role. But then two, like you said, if they're not hating, you not doing nothing. So, proof of being a pudding once it come out.
Right. But definitely shout out to her. I'm proud of her for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it takes a lot to get that role for one, and then the amount of hate that she's getting, ignore it and just kind of focus on the love and focus on the goals.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Cardi B has something to say this week. She was on Instagram Live and she said, "How are people surviving inflation?" She said her family is struggling, but her family has a Cardi B. She said, "What are people who don't have a Cardi B gonna do?"
Yeah, I mean,
8.3 is that 8.3 now?
When she said her family, she mean like relatives and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know her and Offset ain't waiting for nothing right now.
I don't think.
Oh, like wait a minute.
It's not affecting them in the house.
No way. But yeah, no, she's right. People who don't have a Cardi B, people who don't have someone they can depend on, count on, who's financially, even people who are financially stable, it's still affecting them. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you really got a huge savings and you stacked up like that, you're going to be affected in some way. It's like kind of unavoidable unless, like, depending on the tax bracket and stuff like that. But yeah, she's right. She's absolutely right. I think that's what's making people go nuts.
Oh yeah, people are gonna go crazy. They're hungry. I think the statistic right now, they said is 1 out of 2 people are struggling and falling behind financially. So pretty much half the country is struggling.
Yeah, that's scary, man. Yeah, and to be, not to try to make anybody scared listening, but it's like, you got to think about this. When it comes down to holiday season coming up, man, you got, of course, Halloween. Kids need Halloween costumes. You got a lot of expenses. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got Christmas coming up. And as we go through each portion of that or each holiday, people going to get more stressed out.
Right.
Just saying.
Well, statistically, this is a fun fact. The most heart attacks happen around Christmas time.
Oh, man. That number going to double this year because a lot of folks ain't going to be able to get what they want.
It's going to kill them in America, literally.
Literally. They going to flip, man.
Yeah, it's sad. You see a lot of stuff. I see a lot more homeless people when I'm driving out now.
Yeah.
And you can see the stress in people's faces. I can see it for sure.
Like, not to cut you off, do you ever, like, how you see the people with the signs, and a lot of them be scammers too. I ain't gonna front. A lot of people be scammers too, but a lot of people be legit, right? You see the ones that say, like, I got this many kids and this and that and all that.
Oh yeah, of course.
They've been working the corners, working the streets, like in suburbs and all these different areas they normally don't really be at like that. And so I noticed, like, a little scheme, not to get off topic, not a little thing they do, like, that. Of course, a lot of them work together, but I was at Kroger. I forgot to tell you about this. I was at Kroger's, coming out of Kroger, and this lady ran up to me with a sign, right? A piece of paper. I'm looking around immediately like, yo, this a setup or something. Like, I'm looking like, all right, like, where he at? Like, somebody about to pull up in the van. It's about to be on. She don't even tell me, like, hey, I need help. She holds the paper and, like, for me to read it. I'm like, what? You ain't gonna tell me what it say? Like, you gonna have a whole letter? It was like on a stock, card, whatever. A whole letter. I'm like, I'm not reading this. I'm like, not to be funny or nothing. I'm like, listen, sorry, I don't carry cash on me. Wish I could help you, but I gotta keep it pushing.
Hey, bro, you want to hear something?
Yeah.
I went to Kroger, and the same thing happened.
Oh man.
Ran up on me while I was in the car. Got nervous, looking around. Had that little piece of paper.
Yeah.
He said something about I lost my job, and then I stopped reading. I said no.
Yeah, that was the first line. That was the very first line. So check this out.
Yeah, she out here scamming. She all in with Ari, bro. Part 2.
Once I got in the car, I drove to the stop sign. I looked to the right. Kid you not. It was on the other side of this van. There's a black van. On the other side, old van too. On the other side, it was a dude running up to people. Same thing. So they obviously out here working together. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get this side of the parking lot, I got that side of the parking lot, and we're gonna meet up in the van.
Oh, that's terrible. So you gotta watch out for all that now.
Yeah.
That's why that's why a lot of people are mad at All In with Ari, because she's making homelessness look cute on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. They were up there running out the cars and everything.
Right. But okay. So let's move to Chicago. Chicago just pretty much made a purge law for going into effect for January 1st, 2023. They said there will be no more cash bails for I think they said second degree murder, kidnapping, theft, pretty much all the big felony crimes that people need to be locked up away until they go to court for.
Yeah. Wait. So want to make sure I understand. So they got to stay in jail, right?
Huh?
They got to stay in jail, right?
No cat. It's up to the judge, basically.
Oh man.
If the judge thinks that they'll reoffend, they can leave them there. But if the judge doesn't, they can let them go.
Yeah, and I saw that the police, if they got to be monitored, the police can't even look for them. Law enforcement can't even look.
Oh yeah, for 48 hours.
48 hours. Man, you could be anywhere you want to be in 48 hours.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can be out of the country in 48 hours.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that's definitely scaring a lot of residents. They said that if they're loitering at your business or at your house, they can't move them no more. All they can do is give them a ticket.
Yeah.
So pretty much Chicago's law enforcement has given up, basically, and the gangs have taken over.
Yeah, everybody gotta check what the laws are in their state, because I was reading the comments on that, and they were saying that it's happening across the country. It just got different names. So we gotta look into that. It's gonna be interesting. We gotta look into that. And the officer said something about you determine the level of force that you need to use to get them off your property.
And if it's legal.
Sound like the purge to me.
And if it's legal for you to remove them with that level of force in your state. So yeah, I know a lot of people in Chicago are sweating right now about that, because they deal with it up front. They said there's gangs pretty much going into the suburbs doing robberies now. So just like how they have in LA, they said crimes made it to Beverly Hills and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's crazy, man, because it's really gonna be folks out here who are getting taken advantage of, but then there's gonna be folks out here who are taking advantage of the situation. And let's say somebody is on a property, and for any reason, they could technically harm them and then drag them into the doorway and be like, they was trying to get in my house. I'm justified. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild.
Which leads us into police shortages. So obviously in Chicago, we can see that there's a shortage there. But also in New Orleans, an officer was saying that there were 35 cops between 8 districts. He said that when he logged into his book or whatever, his computer, there were 40 calls on hold.
Wow.
And I didn't say this part before we started. They said that response time in New Orleans right now for the cops is 2 hours.
So why even show up? Why even respond at all? If it's 2 hours, you don't even need to come at that point.
Right.
Like, it's if it takes the officer 2 hours to respond, by then, I mean, what's the point? Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna report it? You gonna put paperwork in? You might as well have online submissions or something.
Online submission. I got robbed.
Like, for real, yeah, you might as well have online submission. Like, hey, fill out a form. What kind of robbery was it? Oh, did he have a gun? What color do you remember? Yeah, like, what the heck?
Right. Yeah, it's getting scary out here. You just got to protect yourself. I know you believe in protecting yourself. I believe in protecting myself. So, people are going to have to start stepping up and taking your own safety in your hands, in my opinion, and just being more aware of your surroundings and understand that you're your first response now.
Yeah. You got to be on hero on that one. But then also with the pilots, right? The pilots, there's a shortage on pilots too.
Don't quote me, but I can't remember how many they said were short. I think it was something like 30,000.
Well,
but yeah, that's pilot shortage right now. So your flights are going to take longer. They're going to be more spread out probably. You're going to have to book even earlier if you want to fly out of here. So
yeah,
really get it together.
While the gas is lower right now and the price is low, you better take them road trips.
Right. I guess that's what it's going to be. You probably get there, instead of having a layover might just turn into a turnaround because someone called out that day.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Right. But yeah, that's of course that sucks too. So, but they are trying to train more people. I seen a video of them trying to give people grants basically to go into pilot school. So hopefully they'll get it together in the next few years. Might take maybe 5 to 10 years to get it back right.
Yeah, because I need a pilot that's been training and flying by themselves for about 5-10 years. I ain't trying to get on no plane with no newbie. Like, nah, bro, no.
Like, hey guys, this is my first time flying. We're gonna see how it goes. Lay back.
Hey, and then you got folks out here stressed too, man. So, right. Like the pilot that jumped out the plane a couple of weeks ago. Did you hear about that? Did we talk about that?
Didn't.
This pilot, for some reason, I don't know if it was an argument, something happened, and he was just like, screw it. And he jumped out the plane, and it crashed like in a field, it crashed somewhere. He jumped out the plane, just said, like, he just left whoever else was on there. He just jumped out the plane. It was a small plane. And, like, the other people had parachutes. He didn't. He just didn't care. He just left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but folks is out here bugging.
Yeah, that's crazy. That'd be scary. You definitely don't want your pilot jumping out. All right. Speaking of people jumping out the window, AOC said she will never be president because America hates women.
Do you think that's true, or do you think she just thinks she can't never be president?
I think that she's being dramatic.
Yeah.
Overall, there's a lot of misogyny in America for sure, but we have a female vice president right now.
All right.
And half the country voted for her, so obviously America doesn't hate women.
The fact that Hillary was even going against Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to bring that up, but as an example, like,
and there's multiple cities with female mayors, so there's multiple CEOs that are women. So
yeah,
I would say overall, people love women in America, definitely compared to other countries.
Oh yeah.
Like there's certain countries you can go to where you will feel like they hate women for sure, and nobody cares.
This is a thing. I think it's because I'm trying to find the best way to put this, but I think because, like you said, America can be misogynist, and as a country kind of can be very like sexist or biased on like looks and stuff like that. Like if you have like a very attractive woman running for president, I feel like they would have a better shot than the guy. Just saying.
Right. But I mean, look at how far she came from the Bronx, so she made it out of there, and she believes in herself. I think she's just being dramatic, honestly.
I think she could do it for sure. Not whether like, and not to say it has to be somebody very attractive, nothing like that. What I'm saying is, as a country, we can be very shallow as a country. You see what I'm saying? So when we find something that the masses appeal to, just look at TikTok, look at everything what people watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at what captures people's attention. For some reason, if for any reason they like you, they just gonna vote for you. Like, when Hillary was in office or running for office, they was talking about the next one. Let's go Kanye. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it really don't matter. Like, it feels like it don't really matter how long you've been in politics and this and that. It's just people finding something they like about you.
Right. And I think that's what you're saying. And overall, she just needs to make sure she connects to the people and what they're going through.
Yeah.
That's really the most important, is connecting. Hey, I hear you guys. I hear what you guys are saying is important. This is what I can do and what I will use my power to do.
Right.
And then follow through with it.
Right.
And then you'd be surprised. You might have 8 years in there.
I don't know, man, but more power to it.
Yeah, for sure. You'll be all right, ALC. Talk to us about TikTok in China.
Oh, man. So I saw the recent study. I don't know where exactly they're getting the numbers from, but they're saying that basically the youth and the culture in other countries are different on TikTok, Instagram, things like that. So instead of seeing, the violence and dancing and pranks and stuff like that, stuff that it's more so entertaining, but it can be, a little dark or a little raunchy. They don't show that in China. They don't show that in certain countries, specifically China. They more so show people the betterment of the country, like, people becoming doctors, lawyers, and what they did, or accomplishments and stuff like that. And they're training the youth to think differently, the complete opposite than over here. Focus on career goals and life improvement and stuff like that versus the entertainment aspect of it. I thought that was interesting. They said the algorithm is specifically for the United States and certain countries pointed towards the drama and all the wild, crazy stuff that's happening is for the United States algorithm. But then for China, they're like, nah, we cutting all this off. We focusing on positivity and uplifting our people. And it's like, wow, just to hear that, it's like, okay, it reflects the two societies. Right.
And of course that's smart on their end. And I do understand why they would do that, but it's also messed up that nobody cares over here. Because you see people so addicted to social media now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go outside, pretty much everyone's looking down at their phone. Nobody's really aware of what's going on around them. That's why so many people are willing to prey on so many people, are able to, because you're not paying attention. But also it's having an effect where people are starting to get a little weird. It's getting weird out here, like I always say.
Getting very weird out here. And you're right. You absolutely right. You hit it on the nail on the head. People are, when I'm in a car, if I'm at the light or even not at the light, I look to my left or I look to my right. People on the phone while they driving. They, if somebody in the passenger seat, they looking down like this. You see people walking down the street, they're looking down like this. Everybody's head is down. Everybody's, so caught up into the drama and the nonsense that nobody's focusing on life, man. I feel like we got to get it. We got to get it right. I don't know how to turn that around, but I think China and these other countries, they have the right mindset.
Right. You got to figure out how to let the kids know that it's math, technology, STEM, stuff like that will get them out of here. Engineering, those type of jobs.
Yep.
Not TikTok dances.
Nah.
Talk about some other people that made a bad choice in career.
Uh-oh.
Robbery out in Oakland, California.
Oh, man.
I think it was 2 masked men came to a work site.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
It was 2 or 3 masked men. They came to a work site. Some guys were working on some plumbing at a house. And the the guys took all their tools, and I guess everyone else went home.
Man, that gotta suck. And I saw the boss afterwards, and he was like, "This happened to my guys. This is the second time in 3 weeks." I'm like, "Where are you? Stop going to that area." Like, they waiting for it. It was like somebody at the corner, like, "Oh, here they go."
The construction crew just showed up.
Yeah, man.
That's scary though, because it's like, man, you can't even like go to work and do an honest day's work and not have to worry about nothing.
Hey, you know what I didn't think about? It almost make me feel like, what if the people calling in the job is getting them robbed? I'm not trying to laugh at it, but if you think about it, right? What if they planning this? Like, all right, you know, because how else would they know they're gonna be there? Is what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I think they would just be riding around. I don't think they're that smart. I think criminals are actually really dumb these days. I see a lot of dumb criminals. Like, there was a guy, just to get off task a little bit, but there was a guy that robbed a Walmart for 3 TVs this week, right? And a 10. And then he went out in the parking lot and tried to sell the TVs in the parking lot.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail. he needs to go to jail.
So it's like all logic is like completely left people.
They desperate though. Folks out here desperate, man.
Right.
He could at least went to Best Buy or somewhere else and did it and sold them in a different parking lot. I'm just saying.
Just do what they used to do and go take it back to the hood and sell it.
Put it on offer up.
Right. Yeah, so criminals are dumb these days. They don't be thinking stuff through. And that's why they get thrown away for the rest of their days. Alright. California and other states, they plan to ban gas cars by 2030. I think 2035, but they want to start getting them really out of here. But they said they want half the country to have a electric vehicle by 2030.
Impossible. I think 2030 is a long ways away. So it is possible, but you ain't gonna be able to get everybody on electric cars for one. But I wouldn't do it. Even if I had like an electric car, I would still keep a gas car because something go wrong, EMP hit, boom, nobody can drive. Just
right. Or something happened to the grid, like what's going on in California right now. You can't even charge your car.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's almost like setting you up for failure, right? It's like hybrid, I understand, but to just completely cut off gas is like, I get it. You trying to save, gasoline and this and that and do the hybrid thing. Find another alternative. Like, actually, remember the shooting in Buffalo? There was a guy who came up with an alternate fuel by using water.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me by 2030 everybody gonna be able to drive their car with some water, I'm all for it. I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? But you telling me it's only electric, I'm like, nope.
And also, they'll have to destroy another country basically to get all that material for all those cars.
Yeah, man, ain't like this flip of a switch.
There's very special material that goes into electric vehicles, and a lot of it too.
Yeah, it's not like it's gonna be a quick, easy thing to do. It's a process. But they're gonna have to figure that out. I think at the end of the day, everybody gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. All right. So football season is back, and for Atlanta, it was a sad week. The Falcons lost the first game by 1 point.
True ATL fashion, ain't it?
Yep. They've been doing this to me all my life.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I saw the videos. I saw the different videos and posts people was posting about it, and it's like, man, I don't know. Like, it's like this. And I don't know if it's because, I'm originally from Buffalo, and now Buffalo's team is doing really well and this and that. But at some point, have hope, but don't be surprised.
Right. The thing that was hurtful is that they lost to the Saints. That's like the one team that they're supposed to like.
They supposed to beat them.
You gotta spank them every time. But yeah, the Saints coming out, and then they started winning in the second half. It was, I think, by the second half it was like 23-10.
Yeah.
And then the Saints just came back in that last half.
Yeah, hopefully we can go get the W in New Orleans. Are we going to New Orleans this year?
I'm sure we'll be there.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Well, hopefully they go get revenge.
Definitely. But, it's fun that football season's back. One thing I can say about that, when I went out, there weren't very many people out that day at the bar. So it seemed like a lot of people are watching from home. I would think, because in past years, like, the bars have been, like, packed out as soon as football season starts. So there's maybe, like, 8 people in there at the bar. So...
yeah, man, folks is nervous outside. Like I saw a dude get robbed coming out the gym. I was on the news the other day, so I'm like, oh man, yeah. Folks is like, they only going where they got to go, I guess.
Right. Well, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Shoot, any closing thoughts?
Of course. You guys, if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow Slyce on his page. Follow me on my page. And thank you. I'm Canary Balance.
Slyce.
Peace.
Peace.